Today we are going to see how to filter in Excel by using both the filter tool, which is the traditional tool of Excel, or by using the slicers, that in my opinion is a more modern, professional, and polished way to filter data sets. You can combine filters, you can easily clear the filtering, but it's up to you. I'm going to show here two options and how to use the filter and also the slicers. And then it's up to you to decide which one you prefer. And of course, I'm going to show the advantages and disadvantages of both of those features. Let's get started by using the filter tool. I have a small data set with date, transaction type, category, and net amount. Let's say I only want to see a certain category, maybe rent. How can I do that? I can use the filter to help me. The first thing that I think is important here when using filter in Excel is to transform the dataset into a table because it's easier, guys. Let me show here an example. Right now, my dataset starts in the first row, row number 1, and goes all the way down to the row number 362. So there's a lot of rows. Let's say this is my range today, right now, currently. But tomorrow, next week, next month, maybe I have more rows, more information, and it's going to change the range. And I don't want the filter only to consider the old range, but always the update range. And thinking about it, I think it's important to transform the dataset into a table because mainly of this benefit, the range automatically updates. Let me click, hold, and drag and select everything that I have, and then I can go to Insert tab, Table, and make sure, if of course it makes sense for you, in this new dialog box, you can check the option My Table Has Headers, and then go to OK. Headers are basically the names that you have on each column, the label, date, transaction, category, etc. Now that we have a table in Excel, we already have the filters working. So as you guys can see, we have those little squares. Those are the filters, and we can use basically the filters to filter any column. But to enable and disable the filter, you can go to Table Design, click on Filter button, unmark this option to get rid of the filter, or we can mark it again to retrieve the tool. As I said before, let me go to category, and the only thing I want to see here is going to be rent, and then I click OK. That's it, very simple. Now I can see all the values, the dates, the transaction type, net amount, corresponding to the rent category. Very simple to use the filter. A downside about the filter is it's not that fast to use. For sure it's simple, however it's not that fast because we need to open up this new dialog box, and then we need to select the option that we want, or first we need to unmark everything and then select the option that we are looking for, and then click OK. And if you want to clean up the filters to display the whole data, not only a portion, you need to go again to the filter, clear filter, and etc. So you need to click a lot, right? So it's a downside of the filter. You need to click a lot. However, a positive thing is you can go to the filter and do a sort. You can organize the dataset based on alphabetical order or from the lowest to the largest value, and etc. So it's a very interesting thing. And you can also sort by color. Let's say you have some colors. Row number 9, I'm going to color it with a yellowish color, as well 13 and 14. Let's say I only want to select the yellowish rows. I can go to any column because underneath I have the yellowish color within any column. So if I go to net amount, for example, I may see all the values, but the important thing is here. I want to filter by color, and I want to go for yellow. That's it. Now I can see everything that is yellowy. This is a very interesting benefit of using a filter in Excel. So the downside is we need to click a lot, but the positive thing is the advantage. We have the sort options. We can sort by color, we can filter by color, We can organize from A to Z to A, or sort in chronological order. I mean, using the dates. We can also use numbers from the smallest one to the largest one, etc., etc. So filter has its benefits and its disadvantages. Let me show you now the slicer. How can we use it? And again, guys, I think it's important to use a table in Excel instead of a normal range. And matter of fact, if we go back to the filter, as I said, the benefit of using a table is if you add more information, let's say I add here new information, January 1st of 2027, I'm going to add a new rent value, let's say $1,000. And as the transaction type, I'm going to use income. Yeah, that's it. If I go here to the filter again at the top of Excel, category, let me only choose rent, okay? This new information is already part of the table, and it's going also to be included in the filtering. This is a very interesting benefit of using a table in Excel. So again, to the slicer, I also want to click, hold, and drag everything to convert it into a real table. Let me go to insert, table, yes, for sure, my table has headers, okay. And I'm not going to use the filters right now, but I'm going to go to table design, and all the way here to the left, we have the option insert slicer. In short words, slicer is basically a filter with buttons. So you don't have all the options that the filter 2 does. However, you have interesting ones. Let's say I want to filter by category. I can go to category, mark this option, click OK, and Excel is going to gives you this new dialog box. And you can also move it around, click, hold, and drag, move it around. And it's very interesting layout because you can just click on the category you want to see, and the table is going to be automatically updated for you. Let's say maintenance. Everything is filtered, very easy. So it does not require loads of clicks. You don't need to click here, click there. No, just go straight where you want to see, click, and that's it. Just one single click and you're done. And to clear the filter, you can go to clear filter, and that's it. Very simple. The disadvantage of using a slicer in Excel is you cannot organize, sort the data set using, for example, the smallest value, the largest value from A to Z, or chronological order using dates. This is a downside of the slicer. But in spite of that, it's a very good. And you can also change the layout, let's say. Instead of one single column or one information per line, you can go to maybe 4 information per line. So you can have 4 columns. You can see that way more information at the same time in the same row. It's easier to see everything you have. But if you have several columns, several rows, maybe it's better to stick with one option. Let's say if you really like to use filters in Excel, go to the filters. If you like to use slicers, go to the slicers. But I think, in my opinion, in my experience, slicers are the best. Because let me show you here an example. I have this large data set, for sure, more rows, more columns than the previous example. What I want to do here, again, click, hold, and drag, select everything is very important, and convert this range into a table. So table, okay, yes, it does have headers. And I want to open some space in the header because this new area is going to be used to me create the slicers, the filtering area. I want to go to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth row. Right click on those rows, go to insert. What Excel does, it's going to give me this new blank area. And if I click on the table, I can activate again the table design, and under here I can go to insert slicer, and I can choose as many options as I want. Let's say I want to sort by month. I think it's something interesting. Also by type, because type gives me a main category, let's say. And I can also go to category. I think it's something interesting. And okay, I only want to use 3 slicers. Okay, Excel is going to give me those slicers right here, and I can organize those slicers up on top of the table. Let's say the month, I'm going to organize it right here. Click, hold, and drag on the fill handle, those small circles to adjust the length, the width, and the height of this slicer. And if we go again to the slicer, I can increase the columns, maybe to 4, increase it quite a bit more to the right. Let's say I can use 6 columns. Oh, okay, I think it's good. Let me take category and put it right here. Click, hold, and drag to the right, make it wider, and also transaction type. Click, hold, and drag to the right to make it wider. As a transaction, I want to have 3 columns, and as a category, 2 columns. And for the category, I can also change the design. This is also an advantage to use slicers. You can have a more professional, a more polished look into your templates. I want to go with this yellowish one, and as the transaction type, maybe this dark blue one. Okay, now if I click on a month, let me go to September, the table is going to automatically be filtered. And on top of that, on top of September, coupled with September, I only want to see inventory. Okay, that's it. Or I can go to maintenance, let's say, bank fees, insurance, etc., etc. Sales revenue. I think sales revenue is an interesting category because I can append to the September sales revenue, and I still have some room to select maybe a description. I can sort by description and etc. Okay, guys, so basically this is how we can use filter in Excel and also how to use slicers. And again, my opinion is I prefer slicers because it does look more professional. It does look more clean. And of course, I think it's easier to use. Imagine if you are sending the file to someone that doesn't have too much experience in Excel. Maybe it's easy to use slicers than it is to use filters. So we need to think about it, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or any suggestions to next videos, let me know. Comment down below and I see you in the next one.